Good afternoon, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to continue my review of Beatles B-sides. I'm going to review You Know My Name, Look Up the Number, the B-side of Let It Be, released in March 1970. So, bit of history. This track was started in '67. I think John was in Paul's house waiting for him, and he just saw on the phone book that phrase, "You know my name, look up the number," so he had an idea for a song and he told Paul about it, and they just mucked around. It was quite a jokey song even back then. Brian Jones came in and played sax on it, and then in '69, on the 30th of April '69, John and Paul, without the other two, overdubbed some vocals, and it's one of Paul McCartney's favourite Beatles songs. He even says it might be my favourite, just because it's so insane, all the memories. Eventually we pulled it all together and I sings in jazzy style, You Know My Name, and we just did a skit, Mal and his gravel. I can still see Mal digging the gravel, and it was just so hilarious to put that record together. It's not a great melody or anything, it's just unique. Some people haven't even discovered that song yet. So this is from the recording sessions, by the way, and I was rereading the interview which Paul does with Mark Lewison. And it's so much more interesting than your average McCartney interview, because Lewison is asking very interesting questions about not only about Abbey Road Studios, but about the music and about, you know, the BBC recordings and the Honeymoon song, and just refreshing to see Paul being asked different questions, and as a result, that is a very strong interview and very interesting. I know I feel a bit guilty. I'm going to put this at number 10 on my list of 12 of the unique B-sides. I could have easily put it higher, but that's the problem with doing a ranking. Something needs to go near the bottom, and I didn't write it in, but it's going to go there at number 10. And then I'm not sure what order I'll do the other remaining 6 in. Probably do the last 4 in fourth, third, second, first. That's that way, I think, but I'll cover 9 and 11 before I do that. So I was listening to Anthology 3 this morning, and there's an extended version of You Know My Name on that, which is quite interesting, but I think they did the right thing to edit it down, because it's a bit long at 6 minutes. But on that extended version, I noticed they faded it out early at the end, so you missed John's last couple of lines, you know, when he's talking at the end, going "Zunt mer, ha," and that's kind of missing at the end of the Anthology version. So I'm not sure how the hell that happened. It's quite annoying. I was noticing, because Mark Lewison confirms in this book, and you can hear it on the tape, I think, it's pretty obvious that it's John and Paul doing the vocals. And Mark Lewison says George and Ringo weren't even present. In the Ian MacDonald book, he says apparently it's Ringo doing the Dennis O'Bell nightclub voice, but it sounds more like George imitating the Bonzo Dog Doodah band from Mystery Tour. Well, to my ears, it's obviously been Paul McCartney singing that bit, and just as obviously as when John's singing his bits on this song. It's very distinctive. I'm not sure how you can mistake that McCartney vocal for anything other than a McCartney vocal. So anyway, that was a bit surprising. George Martin was producing the original song in '67, but Chris Thomas produced the one in '69 on that 30th of April session, the same day that George laid down his second guitar solo for Let It Be, the one which appeared on the single. So that's interesting, because that single came out with You Know My Name on the B-side. So, and I think the Plastic Ono Band were trying to put it out for a while, in the fall of '69, when it was just left in the can and the Beatles were not using it. But then they finally did decide to use it and put it out on the B-side of Let It Be. And after that, it got kind of forgotten. It wasn't on any compilations until the Beatles Rarities in 1979. I don't think it was even on a US album at all. So I think it must have appeared on their Rarities album it's not a very well-known track, and it's I think it's pretty amusing. Carr and Tyler say it's funny in places. It's well worth checking out. Okay, maybe I put it number 10, but it's still an enjoyable and fun recording, and that goes against the grain of, you know, the so-called truth we're told that the Beatles were not getting on by this time. Well, in that month of April '69 alone, John and Paul laid down the ballads of John and Yoko together, and the outtake on the 50th anniversary is just nothing short of superb. And then later in the month, they put the vocals for this song together. So all was not doom and gloom in the Beatles camp. Thanks for watching. See you next time.